Hi guys, I'm Paul Pluter and welcome to the ArchieLuxury corporate program. Today guys, I want to talk about setting your watch. Now, I want to show you with a few different watches how to set them. Now, some of us have a watch winder. This here, I've got a Wolf watch winder. And basically what this allows me to do is I can very easily take, I'm going to wear my Breitling Super Ocean, but I was wearing my Zenith Chrono Master 1969 El Primero. This here is the open version, and I'm going to put this back onto the winder. But firstly, I'm just trying to do this with holding one and putting another one on here so I don't drop one accidentally. So let's put this on my wrist safely. Bang, bang. Okay, it's all done. Okay, so this is the Wolf winder. Very, very easy to use. This is the seat where the watch sits. So I basically just put that on there. This, in the Wolf system, it moves up. So I'm going to move it up so I can do up the deployant clasp. There we go. It's all nicely. It's on its cushion there. So now I'm going to put that into the Wolf winder box. So let's put that in. Very easy system. It just squeezes at the side there, clicks in. Close it. It's got a little flashing light to say all is good, and that's ready to, it'll automatically rotate to keep the watch charged. But let's have a look at starting watches from fresh. And I'd like to show you how to bring your watch to life after it's been sleeping. So let's have a look at a couple of watches. Let's start off with a mechanical manual wind chronograph. So here we go. This here is my Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon. So what I'm going to do is to wind this up. Firstly, I'm going to get it a little wind. I'm going to wind it 4 times, and then I'm going to make sure the seconds are working. This is to show me that the watch is starting to run, and you can see the second hand is just here. You can see it's starting to move. Okay, so the watch is working. So what I'll do now is, so I've wound it 4 times, I've checked the seconds. Now I'm going to pull the crown out. So this has just got one position. Pull it out, and now I will set the time. Now this time here says it is actually 8 o'clock. Now it's actually a little bit after 3 o'clock. So never always wind forward. So I would wind 9, 10, 11, and now it's 3, but never run it backwards, because watches don't like going backwards. Remember that. So now I'm going to set this watch. It's 4 past, and now I'm going to wind it up. Now, because this is a manual wind, it'll have a special, when I wind it up and it's almost wound, it'll get a little bit tougher, and then I'll feel resistance, which will stop me from over winding it. And there we go, it's stopped. I can't wind anymore. So I'm a bit anal when it comes to my watches. I like to have the crown absolutely perfect with the logo displayed there, so that watch is all ready to go. So that's probably the most simple watch, is a manual wind with no functions, no date, no other functions there. So that's probably one of the simpler ones to set. So this time, how would we set? Let's set an automatic watch with a date. So, okay, let's have a look here. This is my IWC, Ingenua. It has a date window, and let's set this. So what I would do to set this is I'd just give it a little shake, get a little shake, not a violent shake, just a little bit of a shake. And then what we want to do is we want to unscrew the crown, and we'll just give it a couple of turns. I like to give it 4 turns. Now we've got a little bit of charge, and we can see the second hand is actually moving on the dial. Now what I suggest the best thing to do is, the time here is 10 to 8, and I want to have the date set. So firstly, I would run the hands until it goes after 12 o'clock, because that will tell me whether this is in an AM setting or a PM setting. So let's just pull it out completely and wind it forward, never going backwards. Wind it forward just after 12, and it's just clicked, so I know we're in the AM cycle. And then we're going to make the time 7:20. So I know this is now 7:20. Actually, I've just made it 8:20. 8:20 or 7:20 doesn't matter. 8:20 AM. And now I can push the crown in slightly, 1 pip out, to adjust the date. So the date today is the 13th. So I can advance this here. I normally like to advance this to the 12th. The reason I like to do this is then I can pull it out completely and advance the time so that, okay, it doesn't change, which is good because I was setting it in the AM. Keep winding until it actually will click over to the 13th, which is today's date. Click. Okay, beautiful. It's displaying the 13th. I keep winding this here. So now it is now 12 o'clock midday, and the time here is a little bit after 3 p.m. So now it's 3, make it about, there we go. And now I push that in, and I like to give it a couple more winds. I like to give it an additional 10 winds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Screw the crown in, and I like to give it a gentle little bit of a wind there. And now that piece is ready for me to wear. So on an automatic piece itself there, that's the way I like to set the piece. So it is very, very important that you never wind when you're adjusting the time. Don't go backwards, always go forwards. Even if you have to go right around, that is quite okay. That is quite okay. Now, the interesting thing is, with wristwatches themselves, they really prefer, you've got to be so it's just, you've got to be a bit sensitive to watches. You don't want to damage them, because some of these pieces here have delicate movements in them, and one of the biggest problems that watchmakers deals with is when people have set the date or adjusted the date when it's between the danger zone. That's when it's gearing up for the change, and that's where a lot of trouble does come in. So using this method here, this is how I would set the time and date on a piece. You've just got to be respectful to the piece. You look after your wristwatches, and they will really look after you. You look after your watches, and they will look after you. Never set the time back, always wind forward. And with an automatic, it's best not to wind it too much up. On a manual wind, yes, of course you wind it fully until you feel the resistance. But on an automatic, you're actually putting a lot of pressure through the gears by manually winding it. So do wind it up so it's got some charge, give it a bit of a shake, and wear it. That is the best thing you can do to get your watch in the mood for operation. I'm Paul Pluter. This is the Paul Pluter. No, it's not. This is the ArchieLuxury corporate channel. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please tell me you like these fun facts, and I will make more of them for you.